Wait, are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what about the tail part?
They take it out.
They take off the stinger, but like the tails.
I mean, it's barely kicking.
Yeah.
It's got to stick through it and no stinger. It's
Ying has a video of a guy we saw who we watched eat the live scorpions on a stick, and he had no mercy. He just bit down and yanked it off the stick, and never to be seen again.
It was hard to watch. And then this was cotton candy that I bought, and it was like this big, and it was like $1. And like the food there is so inexpensive, and it's great. And then this is some ramen noodles, and you get to like choose what you put in it. So like you get a bowl of noodles, and then you can put like the carrots or the corn or whatever you want, and it's really great. And I love being able to like choose and not put in the gross stuff. And then this was a cut up sheep that Michael's family in Inner Mongolia brought home. Would you like to explain?
I can elaborate more on this. So one day I was reading my book on the couch, and my host father and host grandfather came in, and they just had this huge lamb. They set up the table, they just plopped down and started going away at it, and they started cutting off all the meat and stuff. They were working on it for probably about 3 hours, and there was blood everywhere, and about an hour cleanup after. And I mean, I look at it as like, it just shows how the lengths that the Chinese people will go to try to get the freshest like food for their meals as possible, like getting it straight from the butcher and straight from the source. So.
Like even at supermarkets, you'll see the hooks, and hanging on the hooks will be like the bones with the meat still on it, and it's interesting.
It's bad.
Yeah. And then in China, we also all learned how to make balsa and jiangsa, like dumplings and buns. So that's that. You take the skin, and then you put the stuff in, and you crimp it. And then this was tea that we had. So you put in a little blossomy thing, and then after it's in the hot water, it like opens up, and it's super big and awesome and stuff. And that one was called the Romeo and Juliet tea, I guess, because they come together, but yeah, don't question China. And then that is more making dumplings and stuff. And we also had fried squid, so it was like this big for less than $2. And with the 6 of us, minus Sally, because she didn't want to try it, because she doesn't like that stuff, we couldn't finish it. It was like that big. And it was basically like a cheaper version of calamari. And then this was like candied hawthorn, so like kind of like a candied apple, but a little bit different. But it was really good, and they have it everywhere in Beijing. This picture is what most dinners look like, except minus all these dumplings. But you've got like the meat dishes, and then the veggie dishes. And what you do is they give you rice or like some other thing like soup, and you just add whatever you want to your bowl, and then you eat it, and then you keep on adding. And it's super communal and stuff. And this is some more sour bean milk, and I didn't try it, but I didn't really want to, because it smells bad, and I've heard that it tastes just as bad. This is hot pot. You guys have heard of it? Yes? Yeah. So that was in a lot of places all over China, and it was really great. So yeah. And then these were 1,000-year-old eggs. So what you do is you take the egg, you put it in the vinegar, and you just like leave it. Yeah. It's not literally for 1,000 years. They're just like really old and sitting there in the vinegar for a long, long time. And then when you take it out, it's like a nice black color, and then you eat it.
That one's like blue, actually.
Yeah.
Did you eat them?
I tried it. I didn't really like it.
I liked them a lot. I thought they were
they're
good.
okay.
You like it?
I did. They were salty.
Used to very
It's just like very salty egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like salty stuff, which I do.
I didn't really like it, but
I was the only one.
and then this was like spicy sauce, and I was mashing it up. It has like spicy peppers, garlic, and salt. And our friend Sheil actually tried it, and then he promptly started crying because it was really spicy. And then this was meat that was drying on the side of a house. and then that's the inside filling of a dumpling. This here is cow brain. Natalie, a girl from our group, she actually tried it, and she said it was okay, but the look on her face said otherwise. I didn't think she liked it. No. And then they also had Beijing roast duck, a specialty there. So they like take every part of the duck, and it's a whole big meal, and it tastes really great. And you get like the Chinese tortilla pancake thing, and you just like put the duck on, put some sauce, and wrap it up, and it's really, really good. And then this was like a sugar on a stick, basically. They take the melted sugar and they make it into a pattern, and then when it hardens, you just eat it off the stick. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. So, while we were in China, we definitely wanted to see more than just Beijing. So we took 2 separate vacations. One was in February, and we went to Xi'an, and then another one was later in late April, and we went to a couple other places like Shanghai, Huangshan. So this is most of our trip. We got there by bullet train, and both of our rides were probably about 6 hours, but it was still very, very fast and super cool. And then the places we couldn't get to by bullet train, we got there by bus, and it was a lot of like windy roads and sharp turns and sweaty hands and crossed fingers, and yeah. So this was Xi'an, and it's kind of like the historic capital of China. So it's older than Beijing. It has a lot of history, and it had really pretty sunsets and a lot of parks. And so this is an example of some of like the old buildings in historic Xi'an that we saw, and this was a park we were at, and this was traditional food we tried, which was kind of like the same Chinese pancake tortilla thing, but made out of vegetables, and we had that with some more vegetables. It was really good. And the main reason we went to Xi'an was to see the terracotta warriors. And first we went to the factory, which they make the reproductions now, but it's using the same soil that they used in the Ming Dynasty. And then so we all got to stand behind it and look what it would be like as a terracotta warrior. And this was Ying as a terracotta warrior. And the museum actually had three pits, is what we were told. But it turns out the first 2 pits of the warriors were just kind of destroyed terracotta, and then the third pit was where you see like the pictures. They were all lined up, and it was huge, and it was crazy. So that was cool. And then 4 of us, not me, went to get traditional Chinese massages, and from what I've heard, it was very, very deep tissue, and I don't know, they both had it, so they performed this one.
Really deep, really hurt, honestly.
Yeah.
It hurt a lot, but I mean, I guess afterwards I felt rejuvenated.
I was happy
So
with
it
my
didn't
choice not to go.
It hurt.
Also, this was one of the warriors that was on display at the museum, and we went at the time of Spring Festival, so all the buildings were really pretty and like lit up, and we saw a water show. It was really beautiful walking around at night. This is Michael as a terracotta warrior, and I think that is the most real,
fitting
realistic one we have right now.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah, and this was a really pretty place we went to. It was the Wild Goose Pagoda, and we went when the sun was setting, and you could see kind of like the modern landscape in the back, plus like the very traditional ancient building. It was really pretty. And our next trip was to Shanghai, Huangshan, and Suzhou, and so first we went to Huangshan, which the Yellow Mountains, and they were just huge and incredible, and we woke up one day at 4:30 to watch the sunrise over them, and that was incredible. And after that we went to this little village called Hongchuan, and have any of you seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is the best we got so far. It was filmed right there, or not right there, but it was
Right
actually
there.
it was filmed like right. There's a scene that was like on a bridge right here. If that picture would go on. And yeah, so that was it was. This was just incredible. It was so beautiful. It reflected off the water, and yeah. And then we also went to a silk factory to see how they took the silkworm and made it into those snazzy coats they're wearing over there. And hanging out. I think we can all agree that like the Yellow Mountains were the most beautiful place we have ever been to. It was just like it was incredible. It was breathtaking. They also filmed Avatar there because those were like the hanging mountains in Avatar. And we got a cable car up, but we ended up walking down. And the walk down was 7.5 kilometers, which is like 3-ish miles, but they did it like bird's eye, like I don't know, like this way, not like steps. So it was a long, long time, and a lot of walking, but it was just like you look to the side, it would just be like tropical rainforesty, mountainy. It was so beautiful. Okay, and then we also went to this. Hello. We went to the Venice of China. Which was called
Wuzhen.
And we took a nice little boat up there, and it was very cool and very pretty. So after that, we went to Shanghai, and we got to go to the Oriental
Pearl TV
Tower, and we all climbed up there after a little bit of a line, and we got to look down, and I think some of us were more afraid than others, but it was definitely an experience that we will not forget. And as I said before, we woke up to see the sunrise on the Yellow Mountains, and this was a picture that Michael and our friend Sheil took, and that kind of embodies how we felt about that.
Okay, Spring Festival. So we actually arrived just as Spring Festival was really, the momentum was really picking up. Have you guys studied Spring Festival in class?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in all honesty, the way that we learned Spring Festival in class, it almost directly translates to how they celebrate it in China. There are lots of dumplings, lots of fireworks, and they go all out for decorating their house. And you can see here that Sheila is hanging up this paper cutting of the character Fu, which is a character that kind of represents the prosperity and wealth and good fortune. And a lot of the time, I know with my host family, we turn it upside down when we hang it up, so that way it represents the good wealth and fortune flowing into your house. Here, Emily put together this nice compilation of pictures of her making the dumplings. So they roll out the dough, you take the filling, you put it in, and you crimp it, and she did a better job than I did, but they're looking for that nice little crescent that you kind of find in a croissant type shape, which I could not for the life of me create, but she did.
Highly impressed with that.
And here, these are just some more of the decorations that a bunch of the host families put up. And you normally, at least with my host family, we put them on the archway of the front door. So you would have like this banner would go up top, the two on the sides, and then the Fu right in the middle. And also, a lot of people go to parks and decorate there as well. And there were tons and tons of fireworks, and you could not sleep no matter how hard you tried, because they were, when you thought it was the end of the fireworks, like 7 more people would light fireworks, and they sounded honestly like bombs going off. And for the first couple nights, I feared for my life, because you couldn't tell the difference between, if an attack were to happen, you could not tell the difference between an attack and fireworks.
Smart attack.
But yeah, it's just part of the Spring Festival celebration.
So now for the culture shocks that we experienced. So the first one was the smog. So like when you think of China, you think of like all the pollution and the smog and everything. So that's basically what these 3 pictures here at the top are. It's like the city coated in a layer of gray. But then again, there were also these really nice days that were kind of just like here in Newton. So like blue skies, clear, and sunny too. And it was really great because the weather in Beijing was actually kind of nicer than it is here in Newton. Like it was cold in the winter, But then once it hit around March and April, it started getting like super